Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video for the 16th episode of Season 3 of Babylon 5 called War Without End Part 1. Don't forget you can now see the full version of this reaction on my Patreon channel. Check out the link in the description below. Last time we saw Mr. Morden and his associates visit the station. We heard that some of the smaller races were being attacked by the shadows, and other races wouldn't help because they hadn't been attacked yet, so they didn't want to get involved. Stephen blew up in Medbay in front of Garibaldi, who suspected it was due to his stim addiction. Londo was excited that his love, Adira, was coming to visit him on the station. Whilst preparing for her arrival, Mr. Morden paid him a visit, and Londo reiterated that he would not help him anymore, which didn't go down too well. Garibaldi tried to speak to the doctor privately about his problem, but Stephen wouldn't listen. Delenn helped John realise that they needed a big win against the Shadows to show that they could go up against them and to pull all the different species together to fight back. So accordingly, John asked Kosh for help to fight against the Shadows, but he said no. And John wouldn't take no for an answer, which caused Kosh to try to push back. But John's words eventually got through, and Kosh agreed to help, but at a cost. With the other races watching on, the Vorlons attacked a number of shadow ships and won, bringing everyone together. When Adira was late to arrive, Londo discovered that she had been killed. Whilst he thought Reefer had killed her, we discovered that it was actually Mr. Morden that had arranged it. Garibaldi went to check some of the doctor's blood tests to check his stim levels, but the doctor arrived and told him that he'd already done it and seen the high levels and that he would do something about it. Learning about the Vorlon attack, Mr. Morden went to visit Kosh and his associates attacked and killed him, although Kosh was able to telepathically speak to John before he died, apologising to him. In his grief, Londo renewed his relationship with Mr. Morden, and the doctor resigned from his position so that he could help get himself better. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1. Minbari homeworld. It's got 2 moons. That's very picturesque. Minbar, twinned with Niagara Falls.
On this day, we were to enter the sanctuary and open this, locked and sealed, for over 900 years.
Jeffrey Sinclair. Jeffrey Sinclair.
How did he know your name?
So we haven't seen him for a while.
We're picking up a distress call. Sector 14.
It's impossible. Sector 14's been under quarantine for almost 3 years. That's where Babylon 4 disappeared.
Ah.
They're coming through! Repeat, they're coming through!
Commander, that's your voice.
I was going to say. So, last time there was a distress call from that area. It was Babylon 4, and it was the male commander who sent it. Because that's why I was thinking, hang on, that's a female voice. And I thought it was the same distress call. But it was a Voniver. So we see Sinclair's back, which is going to start me getting Sinclair and Sheridan mixed up all over again. So apologies for that. So a letter that was left for him from 900 years ago with his name on it. So we knew that he was on Minbar. He'd been assigned there. But I think last time we saw him was just in that video message that he sent to Garibaldi about the Rangers. I don't think we've seen him since. Like the music, it's very fitting with the Minbari.
The letter seems to have disturbed you. Perhaps if you told me what it says.
Yeah, I bet he's eager to know what it says.
Tell the others to continue their work in my absence.
With your help, we've created something bigger than we are. It has a life of its own.
Is that the Rangers?
Come what may, the Rangers will finish
Right.
the work ahead. Take care with it.
Yeah, it's the creation's the hard part. Now they're up and running. In theory, there are lots of people who could run it and carry it on. But that sounded like a goodbye. Well, a complete goodbye. Ooh.
I have the strangest feeling. I will never see him again.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to.
He is returning to the beginning.
The beginning of what?
Nice to see it's not just Kosh who's enigmatic or ambiguous. Is that the first time we've seen another Vorlon as well? So it was a different colour and he had like weird curves.
Well, it's a fake. I've never sent out a distress call like that.
Maybe you just haven't sent it yet.
Yet.
A signal's coming from Sector 14.
Yeah, and you know there's time distortions there.
When Babylon 4 reappeared 2 years ago, Commander Sinclair and I went aboard to evacuate her crew. And while I was there, I had this flash.
Oh, yeah, I forgot those.
So you think that's where the signal's coming from? The fall of Babylon 5?
Something to look forward to, isn't it?
If this really is coming from the future, maybe we can find out what's going to happen. Prepare for it.
Depends what the rules of time travel are here.
Everybody from the non-aligned worlds, get in line. If you're from one of the worlds we don't have a treaty with yet, step over there.
It's like the EU and non-EU queues at the airports.
You.
Commander Sinclair. It's Zach, isn't it? Yes, sir. I came aboard just before you were promoted.
I was going to say, before you promoted. Oh, to that role. Because, yeah, I don't think we ever saw them together.
Will you be staying long?
That is a far more interesting question than you might suspect.
Yeah, so he spent time with the Vorlons.
How about the winning numbers from the New Vegas lottery? I'll split it with you, 50-50.
60-40? You got a deal.
Yeah, I'd take that. Was that one of the standard Star Furies? We haven't seen him fly one of the newer ones yet, so maybe he's not qualified to fly them.
He's here, isn't he?
Yes?
Then it's time. We are grey.
I can't see, but I think Linnea just went like that. His elbows went up like he was doing something with his hands when she lit that.
I wish I had more time. But now, time is all we have.
I wish we had more time, but now time's all we had. Delenn. That's a letter written to her as
We
well.
haven't had a shadow attack in nearly 8 days. My guess is they're reconsidering their strategy after the Vorlons got involved.
Makes sense.
But you must come with me to the White Star at once. Marcus, we will need you to come along as well. Also Ivanova. And one other.
Huh.
Who?
Behind you.
Captain Sheridan. I haven't seen you since the Mars riots.
Oh, so they knew each other.
Temporal rift is twice as big as it was before.
Any idea what's responsible?
Yeah, it's being caused by an extremely powerful tachyon field being transmitted right into the center of the rift. It's coming from Epsilon 3.
Oh. Why couldn't Babylon 5 pick that up?
You see,
Oh.
just as Zathra said. Master, we must tell Dral. No!
More of them.
If we disrupt time field, everyone dies.
Yeah, don't distract. Okay, so we saw him on Babylon 4 when they went back. I think it was him.
We must leave for Sector 14 now.
Why? Why right now?
Because this is the time we are supposed to leave.
I
I have rarely asked you for anything. Now I'm asking.
You would. I mean, she's pleading with you. That is one of the older ones. Or standard ones, such as Star Furies.
Let's try to boost the signal. Transfer power from auxiliary systems to scanners.
Wonder how they said that sector's off limits, but I was going to say if people found out that this sort of time thing's going on there, people might go there to actually. Ivanova said, find out the lottery numbers and things, take advantage of it. But it was probably, it would have been kept quiet that it was due to a time rift or something. It's just out of bounds for, I don't know, they'd made up some reason. But there were a lot of crew who were evacuated from the station and I think the commander said that he was having flashes forward or back, I can't remember. So I would assume the rest of the people were as well. So there's a lot of people who were aware that there's weird time things going on. So that information might have got out.
You know, back at the station, I was pretty surprised to see you walk into the war room.
Yeah, how do you get in there? I would have thought you'd have to have permissions to get in there. And his would have been revoked, I'd have thought.
The only way to get a straight answer out of Ranger 1 was to look at every reply in a mirror while hanging upside down from the ceiling.
Ranger 1. So yeah, he's Ranger 1, literally the head of everything.
Jeez, begin recording.
God, I've done that from the beginning.
The Garibaldi has rigged the fusion reactor, but...
Looks like her arm's broken from the way she's holding it down. Full-on shadow attack.
Here it comes!
I don't think I'd want to see that if I was Ivanova.
Right, Delenn, we're all here.
Oh, they are. Ivanova's there as well.
Do you trust me?
With my life.
I think you're about to.
That's it. All of you, please.
No, not asking them, just him. Doesn't matter whether they trust her or not.
What you are about to see has never been shown to anyone outside the Grey Castle.
So you got a PowerPoint presentation.
Without a long-range base of operations from which to launch our forces, we were doomed to lose the war. A replacement arrived.
Babylon 4.
So it went back in time.
It was taken into the distant past, where it helped us defeat the shadows.
So this is 1,000 years ago. The Minbari were around back then. They were fighting in that war. So tech-wise, this is weird. So you say in 1,000 years they've barely advanced in tech? I mean, they had spaceships and laser weapons we saw there, and 1,000 years they haven't progressed much? That's a bit weird. I mean, Babylon 4 would have been... I don't think the Minbari were involved in the creation of that. I think it was only Babylon 5, but I can't remember. But it certainly would have been all of the Earth tech was on there. And again, with the kind of technology they had back then, it's weird that they said not many recordings existed from back then, but you just would have thought more would exist. They had the technology for space flight. They would have had a way of storing information and camera information, digital information like that. You would have thought it would have lasted until now. Don't know. It's a bit weird.
As Babylon 4 neared completion, the allies of the Shadows recognized it for what it was and sent these ships to destroy it. But something stopped them.
What would that have done to time? White Star.
The White Star?
Delenn, are you saying we stole Babylon 4?
But that was years ago.
Gotta think time travel.
If we fail to save Babylon 4, then Babylon 5 will also be destroyed.
Well, or would it have never existed in the first place?
Until I came to Babylon 5, none of us knew where the station had come from. We knew only that it helped us win the war.
So what happened to it after the war?
It's taken them time to rebuild their ships. Without Babylon 4, the Shadows would not have been defeated and driven from Sahadum. Instead, they would have dug in and waited, with 3 times the amount of ships they would have had otherwise.
I believe it.
If Entelzar believes it, I believe it.
Yeah.
I'll be in the car. In that future, the Shadows had most of their fleet intact. And in their next major attack, Babylon 5 is destroyed.
So that implies time's in flux and it can be changed then.
What have you found? It's the same sequence repeated over and over again. I've just seen Babylon 5 destroyed 4 times, each time the same.
So they're basically saying that 1,000 years ago, the Minbari alliance, whoever was involved back then, would have still have beaten the Shadows, but not as completely, they would have had a lot more ships. So that now, when things would have probably carried on as they have done, but when they now launch a full attack, they'd have had a lot more forces, so it would have destroyed Babylon 5. So they need to send the Babylon 4 back so that they do as much damage to the shadows as possible, so that they have a chance to win the current war. Time travel. Don't you just love it?
Timestamp on the message is dated 8 days from now.
8 days.
8 days from now, we go straight to hell. Unless you found somewhere to stop it.
Working on it.
I think we'd work well together, like Butch and Sundance. Lucy and Ethel.
When I joined Earth Force, the sign said, greatest adventure of all.
It's about to live up to it.
Sheridan to Garibaldi. We're on it. Head on back to the barn.
Roger that.
Still would have left him there until they arrived to keep collecting information.
It appears we're being followed.
Slow 1/3. Allow the ship to dock.
So is what's his name on there?
We must place a homing device in the central power core of Babylon 4. Once that's done, we can begin moving it through time.
Says his name is Zap.
Yeah, they met.
We've met before on Babylon 4.
No. Zathras does not.
It was my past. Your
future. So in this episode, he's going to meet him.
When you meet me again, it will be me, but it won't be me now. So you're not to say anything to me that might change the past. Do you understand?
Zathras understand.
What else is on this list of things you're not supposed to mention?
Oh, that's cheeky.
Zathras does not remember. But if Zathras remember later, Zathras tells.
Isn't that fine, Captain?
Ooh,
What are you talking about? I should go with you.
Negative. Report to base. You can't take the whole command staff on this one.
Yeah, they're already all out.
I sent him home and didn't tell him you were here. Didn't you want to talk to him?
More than you'll ever know.
That's nice to see them pass like that.
Goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye.
These will keep you from drifting. Time distortion can do terrible harm.
And we saw in the previous episode that one of the Sinclair. Sinclair was in the spacesuit, and his device had gone wrong or something. So he was kind of drifting in and out of time, wasn't he?
Everybody get ready.
That's as simple as that. You just have to hold on to it or put it on you, and it works. Well, he seemed happy about that.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Fine, fine. Hey.
Oh, he's going to tell him.
I mean, he wouldn't come all this way, then just leave without telling me. You leave any kind of message?
I'm sorry, no.
Has he left him a message of some kind? Like a recording, like he did last time? That looks like that bomb or whatever it was.
Looks like a fusion bomb. They probably intend to grapple it onto the reactor, then run like hell before it blows.
Well, it's quite big, because I thought just get it close to Babylon 4 would be enough.
One message from maintenance. One from Jeffrey Sinclair.
Stop. Display message from...
Display maintenance message.
Password required for access.
Password? What password?
Oh, well, they come to intercept 3 fighters. Well, they've taken on 6, haven't they? Before. Ooh. Took it.
Damage is minimal. The White Star is based on Vorlon organic technology. It learns from experience.
Like Borg adaptive shielding.
Peekaboo. Susan, Michael, socks, fasten.
Peekaboo was the password he's used.
Hello, old friend.
Password confirmed.
What if he hadn't What if you hadn't got it? How frustrating would that have been to get the message and then not be able to unlock it and know what you said?
I'm sorry I couldn't tell you I was here.
Why?
I won't be coming back from Babylon 4.
Oh,
And if you went with me, you wouldn't make it back either.
it's a bit sad he's not going to see him, though. Surprised Babylon 4 didn't have some kind of defences. The last 3 stations had been destroyed. I think at least one or maybe 2 of them were, or maybe all of them, were sabotaged. I can't remember how they were all destroyed. So this station's not fully active yet. So you would have thought there'd be fighters or ships and all sorts around it, just in case.
Can you hit it from here on manual?
I can try.
Do so.
One of those shots might hit the station. Oh, another shadow ship down. There's the boom.
Get us out of here.
It's too late.
Well, it's not. You got a little bit further away.
The stabilizer. It's hit.
So his time stabilizer was damaged.
What do you mean unstuck in time? Where is he? In the past? In the future?
Cannot say. Saying I would know. Do not.
Cannot say.
We must find him.
Later.
How would you find him?
The explosion sent out enough EMP to blow out their scanners for a while. We have one chance to get on board. Susan.
That works out nicely.
Putting the future back on track may be our only chance to save him.
Oh, he said Susan because she's now in command. Is she? Oh, well, no, he's in command. Ah. Well, his last rank was commander. Then he became an ambassador. Ivanova is a commander. But Sinclair is also the leader of the Rangers. So, I don't know. I suppose he would be... if it was an EarthGov ship, Ivanova would be in command, I think. But because of the murkiness of the of that ship and the situation with Earth and everything now, and the fact they're not really flying in a military mission at the moment, I think it would fall to him, actually. That does make sense, I think. Oh. So in the future, then.
Just in time to die.
So it looks like Londo's Emperor, which we knew was going to happen in the future.
I did not expect this. We cannot even know where in time.
Exactly, no.
Vanessa have fallen.
So he seems to be fluent in Minbari.
I'm like the arrow that springs from the bow. No hesitation, no doubts. The path is clear.
So does that mean that Delen's always speaking English, then? If we heard him speaking Minbari, then? Ooh, what was that look for?
During your little war, you drove away the shadows, but you did not think to clean up your mess.
Your mess?
Their dark servants came to Centauri Prime. Well, where is the harm in that?
Well, it's your fault.
You want to see the harm?
So I doubt you were a priority. It burnt. That's what happens in a war.
There is the legacy of your war.
No, not just your war. That's not fair. That's his war as well. That's cool. Burning a little sort of like an air dock. Air dock? You know what I mean.
Can you get the equipment up here by yourself?
Very sad life. Probably have very sad death.
Oh.
But at least there is symmetry.
Oh. Surely some Minbari could have helped him. Oh, wow. That's a horrible place to leave it. I had another... I can't know what show it was now, but there was a show a few weeks ago which was a two-parter, and I was amazed it finished. Oh, no, it was... it wasn't two-parter. It was it was a Babylon 5 episode where Bester was in it, and I felt that there was more to come, and it wasn't. It just finished. This literally is a two-parter. Wow, good episode. God, time travel episodes can be quite the thinker, can't they? I'm assuming we're going to see the next episode tie into the previous episode because we saw Delenn, Sinclair. I have such a problem with Sheridan, Sinclair. I wish their names was more different. And Zathros, we saw him. We didn't see Sheridan in the last one, but that's because he wasn't in the show. But it was Sinclair we saw in the spacesuit who was phasing in and out. But now it seems to be Sheridan who's out of phase. Time travel. Love it. Yeah. It's hard to talk about this one, really. Need to sort of get into this next one and really see what's going on and see how that's all set up. So I haven't got time to watch it, but I really want to watch the next one. But let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below. And I will definitely see you for the next episode. Be seeing you.